I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole, so don't keep the devil waiting, old friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well.
So you want to pet a dinosaur, huh? Well, you can't unless you embrace your mother.
Whoa, hey.
The thing is that you just can't. For one, they obviously are 6 feet deep and have been like that for 66 million years. And even if they weren't, you couldn't even approach one. Even the cutest herbivores, it could be a Triceratops or a Ankylosaurus, it doesn't matter. They're either going to run away or take your arm off. And for the bigger ones that are prey for some of the most deadly theropods to have ever existed, you'd be killed in the most brutal ways possible. They'd probably mess you up even worse than a big theropod like a T-Rex or something. Yet the Jurassic franchise would have you think otherwise. They literally have petting zoos for the babies, and the adults, even when free roaming, can be approached without any consequences. I mean, they made these guys so nerfed that the bone-shattering swing of an Ankylosaurus club hardly does damage, and an entire herd of 40+ ton sauropods can be taken out. I mean, it was a 9-ton killing machine that did it, but still, come on. However, with that said, there still are some herbivores in the saga that would never tolerate such disrespect. That's right, there still are some of these guys that will hold up the slogan of "fuck around and find out if you mess with them." Some of these guys will hunt you down just to make sure you're dead, and others actively seek you out if they sense you're in the area. So in this video, I'm going to be listing off the herbivores of the Jurassic franchise that wouldn't be an easy target for even the strongest of theropods in it. But just before that, if any of you guys want to have discussions about stuff like this or anything dinosaur related, join the Discord down below. We're on the road to 2,000 members, and there's a bunch of events there to take part in. There will be art competitions and other events, so if you want to interact with me and your fellow dino nerds, join the link in the description. Alright, let's get back to the video. So before I list off the herbivores that would make even Rexy reconsider a head-on attack, I must mention one critical detail that applies to every single one of them. They may be different species, in different clades, some quadrupeds and some bipeds, but all of them are dangerous for the simple fact that they are free. Yup, that's right, all of these guys are wild. They either escaped or were just abandoned and lived free in the wild. In captivity, they were socialized with a lot of people. They probably see more people every day than they see their own kind. Even as babies this happens. However, when they escaped and were now wild, so were the carnivores. And now without any walls or barriers separating them from the bioengineered hellspawn who made, they had to either adapt or eventually be killed off. However, one species on this list will try and kill almost anything if it senses them. Some of the dinosaurs still will tolerate humans to an extent, like allowing us to watch from a distance or even come a little closer, but the petting stuff has got to go. I mean, we see just how much more formidable they become compared to their captive counterparts. And one incredible example of this are the Ankylosaurus on Isla Nublar. I don't think I need to go too into detail. We all saw how that Ankylosaurus got taken out by the hybrid, and the slow, almost awkward way it tried to defend itself. Not to mention this entire herd just turn tail and run. This however shifts drastically as the months go on in Nublar, and they get back most of their survival instincts after being exposed to all the island theropods. The Ankylosaurus and Camp Cretaceous appear a little bigger yet more fit, and they don't half-ass the swings. If they intend to hit something, it's very likely to connect where they want it to. But the best change after they became wild was the herd mentality. When the scorpion came around, all the adults formed a protective circle like you see in some herbivores today, like the muskox, to protect the young. It's not just a circle either. These guys somehow are able to work in unison and duck their heads down, exposing their more armored parts, all while some members attacked at the same time. So they developed a way to somehow implement both offense and defense. I mean, the Scorpius is almost a mindless crash out. The only other thing we've seen able to deter this thing from killing another dinosaur was fire. Yet the Ankylosaurus herd made even it back off. And Bumpy, while not completely wild, because she was raised by Ben for a certain period of time, is able to trade blows with one of the most durable theropods in the entire franchise, being Toro, and she did this while not being even fully grown, able to dodge attacks in a split second and then dish out damage, eventually forcing the theropod to back off. However, she did spend a good amount of time with her own species, so it's fair to say that she's aware of what needs to be done when the time calls for it. And as an adult, she's the most powerful member of her species easily. Very few things would really mess with her. I mean, this is more so to do with her wanting to protect the humans who raised her because she saw them as family. But regardless, all of them became forces to reckon with after being exposed to the wilderness for some time. But even they paled in comparison to the next herd animals. While you could somewhat approach the Ankylosaurus, you could not approach the Stegosaurus in the Lost World. They would allow you to watch from a distance, but you come too close and you're getting impaled. But that makes sense because on Isla Sorna these guys have been wild for much longer. They've had generations pass and gone. And when you live on an island with multiple populations of bioengineered raptors, T-Rexes, and a sealed madman that would make the biggest crack addict seem calm, you tend to develop more of a hard attitude. The Ankylosaurus might form a circle to defend their kids, but these absolute menaces will chase you down like a gold digger seeking child support if they think you're causing their offspring any harm. All it took was this little dog baby looking calf to sound the alarm, and the herd collectively turned into the Space Marines and turned their attention to Sarah. Homegirl was trying to run away and one took a swing to try and catch her off guard. And even after that, another one ran her down and tried to impale her, even as she tried to hide in a log. I get wanting to save your kiddos, but damn, if I heard more than 5 tons of quadruped hate marching behind me, I'd probably just faint and get trampled. I mean, at the end, everyone did learn a valuable lesson. And by everyone, I mean Sarah, because she now knew not to mess with any dinosaur infants. I'm just kidding, she didn't. Then there are some ceratopsians that now show better defensive behavior, like the bull-nostril ceratops that made the Allosaurus at the Battle of Big Rock leave them be. And the Pachyrhinosaurus, who more than likely was socialized as a baby with humans, but still is now able to effectively defend itself against the same Allosaurus when it's fully grown. But the last herbivore I'm gonna mention is one all of you knew were coming. This Therizinosaurus commits war crimes even on its fellow herbivores. Like that deer got its first slapped off because it was in the dinosaur's way. Again, proving that deer will look a 10-ton object moving towards them at 60 miles per hour, but heavens know if a leaf falls on the floor. I don't want to keep saying the Therizinosaurus, so I'm gonna call him what a few Reddit threads call him, Terry. I can somewhat understand his aggression because since he's blind, he can't fully tell what's friend from foe, so the next best thing would to treat everything as a threat. And even if that means ensuring the target is dead by tracking it down, the guy traced clear step by step. Only the water surface saved her from becoming a Vlad the Impaler victim. And at the end, Terry did manage to kill Zeb. Granted that it was very unfair, and in a blatant 1v1, Zeb would rock his shit. But credit where credit is due, Terry still somehow understood a quick auditory signal from Rexy to extend his arms, so the claws would point out towards Zeb when he came in. If it is a fight to the death, Zeb would have won in a fair fight, but if it's a case of food, then I don't think even Zeb would try and attack the Terry. He would have to be extremely hungry. I mean, they both lived in Biosyn Valley for a while, so it's likely that at least once they came into contact, or at the very least Zeb was aware of Terry. There are a lot of herbivores that are able to properly defend themselves now in the franchise, but honestly most of the hardcore ones come from the Lost World, or Jurassic Park 3, Islasorna, whatever you want to say. All these guys have been out of captivity for years on end. Even the Parasaurolophus don't play any games, although that superhuman did manage to bring it down with a rope. Oh, I almost forgot these guys, but the Stegosaurus and Chaos 3 also have the Lost World mentality. However, they do work with humans or at least accept them as neighbors. These guys ganged up on the Suchomimus and almost killed it when they thought it was a threat. It's not even like a hit and hope for the predator to leave. These dudes literally approached the theropod and beat him up as though it's a gang initiation. For the longest while, some people were asking me to do a video on the herbivores of the franchise, and I finally decided it was about time. Because after Jurassic World, the herbivores were just depicted as fodder. Only Camp Cretaceous and the following movies redeemed them, and the herbivores that were in Islasorna for all the time were more than capable of defending themselves when it came down to it. So there still is hope. Maybe later on in the future there will be more of a focus on the herbivores of prehistory, because I think there's like 2 more movies planned before they finally put the saga to rest. And I'm not talking about the lowest levels of focus because she didn't do much. She was just some small ceratopsian that was carried around in a backpack and almost alerted the mutodons to everyone's location. I'm talking about almost Bumpy's level of focus. Anyway, that's all for this video guys. The era of gaming content is coming soon. However, I'm not sure if I should open a second dedicated channel or just post the gaming content here in mid-September. Let me know in the comments or just join the Discord. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.